Are you exfoliating your scalp? Stop right now and watch this video. Hi, I'm Elena of ElenaBelay.com and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the scalp. I never thought I would need to talk about the scalp, but you know the internet and trends, and you know how bad advice spreads like wildfire. Well, that's why I'm here today. I've noticed a new trend and it's gaining traction, and it is the scalp scrub, scalp exfoliating, scalp masks, and all kinds of bad advice when it comes to, is your scalp dry, flaky, or itchy? Exfoliate it more. So that seems to be the common theme right now that I've been seeing a lot of. And I just want to nip it in the bud as soon as possible so that people don't start creating scalp issues, because that's really the next step. This is where we're headed. I can see it in the future. Oh no, and then I can see people also blaming their hormones, their food, their bodies for those scalp issues, and probably lots of hair loss as well, lots of hair loss. All right, first things first. If your scalp is flaky or itchy, doesn't mean that it's dry, because everyone conflates the two. If it's flaky, it must be dry. No, if it's flaky or itchy, it must be inflamed. Why might it be inflamed? Because of Malassezia, usually. That might be what's going on. And Malassezia, too much Malassezia on the scalp, that can lead to oxidative stress and hair loss. We want to keep our skin healthy all over our bodies, right? Face, bodies, and scalps included. Wherever we have skin, we want to keep it healthy and we want to avoid inflaming it unnecessarily. So people with oily scalps can get flakiness and itchiness too. This doesn't mean that your scalp is suddenly dry, and it certainly doesn't mean that you need to exfoliate or scrub your scalp. So back to this inflammation of the scalp. Your scalp skin is inflamed. We're going to talk about why soon. But when your scalp skin is inflamed, scratching it with beads or devices, or exfoliating it with whatever weird scalp chemical exfoliants are out there right now, or putting some oily masks on your scalp, that's going to work against you. That's literally gonna have the opposite effect, and you're just going to basically be chasing your tail. You're gonna be creating the problem or worsening the problem, trying to solve it, and that will make it even worse, and it will just be this endless cycle of mind fuckery, okay? And we wanna break that cycle. We don't even wanna go near that cycle of fuckery. Instead, we want to prevent the damage from occurring in the first place. So let's talk about why or how we might be irritating our scalp over time. Remember, your skin is a really resilient organ. It's not going to show damage overnight, often, right? Depending on its sensitivity. But in general, most of our scalps are pretty resilient, right? So here are the ways in which we can start this cascade effect towards that flaky, itchy scalp. And it's really when it's flaky and itchy that we have a problem. Those are signs of a problem. When your scalp is comfortable, that is not a sign of a problem, right? And you can have a comfortable dry scalp and you can have a comfortable oily scalp. None of these things are an issue. When it gets flaky and when it gets itchy, that's when we have a problem on our hands. Okay, so why are we experiencing this flaky, itchy scalp? Where do we even begin? Some of us are using badly formulated products on our scalp. Think Diva Curl, think things you would buy at Whole Foods labeled organic, vegan, clean, from farm to table. That stuff is often going to be alkaline or harsh and stripping. Your hair's not gonna like it, and more importantly, your scalp is not gonna like it. You might be following something like the curly girl method, where you're doing no poo, which is like skipping shampoo, right? And so your scalp might just really need to be cleaned. Using badly formulated products or not shampooing regularly enough can throw off your scalp's microbiome, your skin's microbiome on your scalp, leading to an overgrowth of, say, a yeast like Malassezia, which can lead to some flakiness, right? We refer to that as dandruff. And then an extreme case of that would be seborrheic dermatitis. But some people have psoriasis of their scalp and they don't know that. They don't know what it is and they just refer to it as really dry, really flaky, really uncomfortable. Whatever issue you have on your scalp, you might worsen it by exfoliating, scrubbing, or doing weird scalp masks on your scalp, okay? So it's really important that you don't do that. The best thing you can do when in doubt is go see a dermatologist, get your scalp diagnosed, see what's really going on. Because you might need a medicated shampoo containing like an antifungal like ketoconazole, for example, or zinc pyrithione to help if it is Malassezia. But you really wanna know what is it in order to treat it. And it's likely not just dry, okay? We're likely not dealing with just dry skin. Dry skin is not like a real scalp problem, okay? If your scalp is pretty comfortable and you don't have flakes, but you do notice some itchiness between washes, it means that you're not washing your hair frequently enough. For most people, washing your hair every 2-3 days is optimal, but you can adjust to see what feels best for you. An itchy scalp is never a sign of a healthy scalp. But careful with itchiness. Whenever I talk about itchiness with my clients, I start to scratch my scalp, my face, whatever. It's a psychosomatic response. So you would notice if it was itchy before you ever saw this video. You'd be scratched. Like, it gets very uncomfortable between washes if you wait too long to wash your hair. Okay? And there's a lot of fear mongering about washing your hair on the internet, especially I think with like the curly girl method and all this stuff. And it's, you know, crazy because we go from one extreme to the opposite extreme. And so one extreme might be washing your hair every day, and then the opposite extreme is like washing your hair once a week or every other week. Neither is good. We can meet somewhere in the middle where your hair and your scalp are happy. Everyone is happy. And so I don't think it's beneficial to wash your hair once a week or once every 2 weeks. And that's when you're gonna see the itchy scalp situation start to rear its ugly head. So really listen to your scalp. Your skin is giving you a bunch of information, but if you ignore it, things will get worse. Okay, so don't ignore it. Your hair will be fine if you wash it every 2-3 days. Like, nothing bad is gonna happen to your hair. It's fairly resilient, okay? Especially like if you don't, do you guys wanna hear some hair tips? If you do, comment below, because that's actually a really frequently asked question. Like, Elena, what do you do with your hair? Do you have any hair tips? So I'll keep that for another video if you want to hear my opinion on that. I'm not a hair care expert, but I have figured out some things that really work well to maintain my own hair and keep it shiny and healthy, and obviously keep my scalp healthy and feeling good as well. Okay. You know, the changing seasons can also be contributing to our scalp and how it's feeling. You might see just a little bit more flakes than usual. Maybe your scalp does feel drier, but isn't flaky and isn't itchy, right? And that can just be like indoor heating versus outdoor cold. It's so cold right now. And that's okay. Also, with the changing seasons, like in the winter, we're usually more prone to take longer showers and hotter showers, and that can obviously kind of zap the skin's moisture and make it a little bit on the drier side. So I would keep those showers as short as possible and not too hot. Also, keep in mind that you don't have to, especially if your skin is really dry all over the body, that you don't have to shower every single day. Bird baths, where, you know, you're taking care of armpits, nether regions, you know what I mean? That's all fine and good, but like all of your skin does not need to be washed all of the time, especially if like you're never leaving the house, you know? Context does matter. So consider the context and don't overwash. Now, quality of product also makes a big difference. What if you're using a stronger shampoo, like a clarifying shampoo, and you're using it too frequently? Not only are you washing your hair too frequently, maybe you're washing it with a product that is far too strong. In that case, you can just wash your hair a little less frequently and or introduce a gentler shampoo in your rotation. So it's like one day it's your stronger shampoo, the next time it's your gentler shampoo. So you can alternate with the two of them. Like, you can figure it out, right? Like, you don't have to have the one strong shampoo. If you really like it, you can keep it in your rotation. but then you can have a gentler product for more frequent use. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to go with the seasons and figure out what suits you the best. Your scalp should never feel stripped after washing. Your scalp should always feel comfortable. And in between washes, it should also always feel comfortable. If it doesn't, ask yourself if maybe your products are a little too harsh, maybe too alkaline, maybe they're full of, oils and things that maybe your scalp really doesn't like. So just consider what's going on and choose wisely. So do you need a dedicated scalp exfoliant or scrub or weird scalp mask? You don't. You really don't. Your hands do a good job of exfoliating your scalp as you're washing your hair. And that's it. That's exfoliation right there. You don't need anything extra beyond that. Your scalp is pretty low maintenance, or it can be pretty low maintenance, besides the washing of it every once in a while, or it might be that you need a medicated shampoo for your scalp for a while. You can still use another shampoo for the rest of your hair that makes the rest of your hair feel smooth, detangles, benefits your hair. You can do that, but otherwise, you don't need a gajillion products in your shower to make sure that your hair looks good. True story. Now, a word on innovation, because shampoo has come a long way in terms of innovation, and that took a lot of time and money and effort and testing. Now, clean beauty comes in. Don't get me started, but I'm about to get started. Clean beauty comes in without having invested any of the time or money that it requires to create a standout product, right? Something new, something useful. They haven't invested that time. They don't have the budgets to do that. So what they do instead is offer you words. Words! Can you take words to the bank? Can you clean your hair with words? So they give you a bunch of words like toxin-free, clean, organic, sulfate-free, silicone-free, preservative-free. I mean, just like useless, meaningless words, all natural. I don't even know what they're saying at this point because all of it is meaningless. But they do this to imply to you that the companies that have spent the time and the money making sure that the products are really well formulated, safe for use, and actually benefit your hair and scalp, okay? They're like, no. These companies are actually poisoning you, okay? Your skin is a sponge. It absorbs 60% of what you put on it. And your hair, when you coat it with silicones, it breaks off, blah, blah, blah. They make all kinds of crazy claims getting us, the consumer, to mistrust the companies that have actually been doing a good job up to this point. This forces the companies that have been doing a good job up to this point to create another category of product that they market to that same consumer that is using the same language, right? Clean, sulfate-free, silicone-free, blah, blah, blah. And they charge more for that product that is, again, less innovative, less good for your hair. It's more expensive now. So clean beauty has opened up a new market of a consumer who's willing to pay more for safety, but there was nothing unsafe about the previous things until clean beauty came in and said that there was. This is very, very manipulative marketing. And so we as the consumer really need to go like this to these companies and stop paying for this stuff. Stop supporting them. Vote with your dollars. Seriously. And so silicones have been vilified. There's even those popular videos, probably all around TikTok and stuff, where people are scratching their hair with a pair of scissors and saying, look, those are the silicones building up on your hair. When really what they're doing is scraping off the hair cuticle, thereby damaging the hair. Because what hair likes to be scraped with a sharp object? So you will see a lot of nonsense online, and we have to remember that on the internet, anybody can say anything about anything. So most people are just doing that. They're exercising their right to blah, 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 blah. And so you have to be discerning in what advice you follow on the internet, because some of it can actually create a problem that you didn't have or worsen a problem that you do have. And with hair care, that's what I noticed. It's like with skincare, right? People become obsessed. They see all these products. They feel like they need to buy all the things. They create all these problems and then they go, it must be my hormones, it must be my diet, it must be my body, it must be something else, right? And they don't see that it was actually all this random stuff, like all this trying and buying things and experimenting that led them to create the problem to begin with. Same thing with hair care, this new obsession with taking like the best care of your hair, you know, as though it's like so important and such a, I don't know, accomplishment, I don't know, is leading people to be overbuying and using things that they actually don't need. There's now new categories of products that are being created because people think that they need these things. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, maybe a heat protectant is really all you need. Okay? When in doubt, see a dermatologist. Find out what's going on so that you're not worsening the problem by following a bunch of, you know, TikTok trends or whatever. In this video, I'm not gonna share any hair care tips or hair care product recommendations because I think this video is long enough already. Just don't exfoliate your scalp. Okay? Don't exfoliate your scalp. The point here is that you don't need to vilify any single ingredient, not in skincare, not in hair care. We can just learn to understand these things and just choose what is best for us. We don't have to look for villains, and we certainly don't have to blame our bodies unnecessarily when it's something that, you know, we can just switch out a practice or a product and have amazing hair health, skin health, or whatever. I think that we think that, you know, hair care or skincare is so intuitive, and that's where intuition gets you. It gets you scrubbing your flaky scalp, okay? So just so that you guys know, that's how intuition works. Know-how is different from intuition, right? When you know what's really going on your skin, you don't have to guess, you don't have to intuit, you just do what is in your best interests, and there you go. So remember that hair health actually starts with scalp health. And what is scalp health? Well, it's skin health. So if you need skin help, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one, and I will see you in the next video. This was Olena of OlenaValet.com.